Cheers! So I am back.
Hello.
With Mr. Chris Pack from Sandast, and you may remember we met before, and we were just talking about it. It was like a long, long time ago, like 18 months or something like that. And I wanted to meet with Chris Pack again because I wanted just to tell you all these fun things that you're doing, right, that are different. Like, it's more of the rebirth of Sandast. So today's focus is about like what he's doing differently and his creative thought process. How much the studio has changed. So if you ever came and saw Chris's studio, it's worth another visit.
Absolutely.
It's totally representative of the new Sandast. So I want to talk, first of all, before we get into it, should we talk about this?
The food?
Yeah.
The guacamole.
So I show up today and I come out of my car and Chris is like grilling on the street.
Yes.
And he said he was going to have snacks and I was going to bring the wine and it was going to be this thing, but it's like amazing. So, and I think that speaks to what you're doing, right? You're just changing everything.
Yes, in somewhat. The thing is, lately we had a lot of friends visiting, and
Okay.
I wanted to make my studio a little bit more community instead of just retail shop where you'd come in, I wanted to buy something and goodbye. Instead of that, I was like, having a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
Having the friends over, obviously drinking, having some good laughs. Laughing, and of course the Catan. So it's like building a little more community,
Right.
instead of a retail rent.
You're not buying a bag, you're joining a family.
Absolutely.
And so talk about what that is, like Catan. What happens every Wednesday in downtown Los Angeles if you're ever here? What is that?
So we have a game called Catan.
Okay.
This is particular game. I never heard of this game till a couple months ago. Then one of my good friend Andrew introduced me to the game. The first time I was watching these 6 gentlemen playing.
Okay.
And it was a group of 6 gentlemen in their 30s.
All right.
And everyone is obviously very information friendly, you know? But one thing that got me shocking about this particular game was for 3 hours, there was constant laughing.
Oh.
Constant witty jokes and, little trash talks. And so for 3 hours, they were having fun. Of course, we are drinking.
We like to eat and drink, in
Yes,
case you didn't notice.
absolutely.
Right?
And none of these guys look at the phone for 3 hours. And that was amazing.
That's amazing.
So, you know what? I wanted to play the game. And so I've been playing. And it's fun. And it's really a nice way to meet new friends. You know? So we even have this particular tradition. So I made, when they came play for the first time, they had this paper, the board. So of course I had to change that to leather. So that's what you see now.
Can I steal one of those and show them?
Yeah, of course.
Give me 1 second.
And let me get the board as well.
Right? So I don't know anything about Catan, and I'll be totally honest with you, I'm not going to try and pretend, but I just love the idea of what Chris is doing. He's not, yes, he is selling bags, but he's creating a community and a family and a place to hang out. Part of that is like the food experience, part of that is customization, right, which we're going to talk about. And like, I don't know the last time I ever sat for 3 hours and didn't look at my phone while I was awake. But anyway, so look at these cool things, like come hang out.
And it was this paper.
Oh, that's what they were using before you upgraded them.
Exactly.
So, I don't know, I just find that to be really attractive, that somebody is not trying to sell a bag, they're trying to like connect with you, right? We have a community here.
Yes.
And people come in on Wednesdays and they have a couple glasses of whatever and they chat and they laugh and they forget, like, hey, for a second, for 3 hours on a Wednesday, the world stops turning. Don't answer your emails, put down your phone, and just shut down.
It's not that it's like there's a written rule not to look at the phone, but the thing is, genuinely, we are having so much fun.
You don't want to.
Well, there's no reason to look at the phone because this is fun.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a genuine thing, and I just feel blessed to have this kind of groove, playing the game, but also in a way, this is actually helping my life a lot because as an artist, everybody knows how the struggle we went through.
Right.
Because I realize, well, we could be on the phone or on the camera, but it's my personal feelings. You know, like in Asia, we are grown up and taught to just follow the order. You know, we are taught to just follow the order, do your diligence, and the good things will come to you. Whereas it's American thought, if you take the first that they present to you, you're considered as a sucker, right? Because you are taught not ever take the first deal that's presented to you. You always negotiate. So coming from that particular school of thought, the reason I was going through a lot of struggle was because I never knew how to negotiate. But this game of Catan is all about bartering, negotiations. So in a way, it helped me much more. It just helped me mature much more as a business person.
Yeah. So it's not so much the game, it's like the thought process, right? Like you mentally you say to yourself that I'm going to negotiate, I'm going to improve, and I'm going to
not necessarily you want to negotiate, but it's just part of the game.
Right.
So you have to do it. Whether you like, so it's like it teaches you how to better when you practice something for a long time, sometimes it just gets without even thinking, it's kind of embedded to you. This is exactly what the Catan is doing for me. It's like, for example, I'm an artist, and sometimes, of course, you have to deal with. We do a lot of custom work lately, and I've done a lot of. I always got a lot of inquiries about the custom work, but I wasn't able to close a lot of deals because, as an artist, I felt always pressure just to get the money part taken care of, so I can focus on the artistic side.
Right.
Because
like they weren't married. It was like money and art.
Yes. So my thing is, but it's a small business, so I have to play two roles. So my initial thought, it's been my practice to just get the money thing out of the way.
Right.
So we can start doing the fun thing, which is making stuff. So because I was pressured to get the money thing away, my practice, I always give them the best profit to start. But of course, they're not going to take it because there's no set price on the custom work.
Right.
So they want to negotiate, but because I started from the rock bottom price, there's no room for me to negotiate. So I turned a lot of my customers away because I was such a bad negotiator, and because I was such a poor negotiator, I took the fun out of them, of the entire experience.
Right.
Because yes.
And I think I totally cut you off, but I wanted to address that because I don't know if people understand the depth to which you're an artist. I think, and we should do a little tour of your studio because it's spectacular. So I like to paint, but I'm scared because I'm somewhat like of a perfectionist, right? So I paint and then I freak out, and then I paint and then I freak out. I'm just like, forget it. My daughter paints and Chris paints, but their paint is free from that sort of, I don't know how to describe it, but he has art all over his walls, and it's his creation. And so I wanted just to make sure that if you didn't know that, that's what we are. That's what we're talking to today. That's who he is. It's not just that he makes bags, but that he creates art, and it's this, I always say it's like the truest form of self-expression, right? Because it doesn't have like a end goal. You're not like trying to create this art to sell it. It's a
there's
mural.
no right or wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, anyways, I just wanted to interject briefly that art is this huge part of you, and so it's great to hear that you're marrying like business and art. So it's like a true representation of the things that are important to you, right? You're not like trying to get out of the way the money thing and focusing on the art. Now it's really this beautiful marriage of the leather with your expression and your creativity.
Right. Of course, everybody understands the money is very important.
Yeah, because you got to stay in business.
Exactly. And I'm not saying it's not important, but as an artist, my approach has always been the emotions. It's like, how do I make this a bag or product a little bit more meaningful than just the another transactions? That's where the concept of Be Your Legacy was born, because it's not about how many number of bags I'm selling, but it's like each bag, what does it mean for that particular individual? So whenever I get a photo from my former ambassador, whenever they go to travel, they still send me the photo of the bag they bought 4 years ago, and I see the patina or changes going through, and it just makes my day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's really joy, and I want to show you one bag down the road. So about 3 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
this lady walked into my studio with one